Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Mendte. When gambling exists in a state, there are also gambling problems, but there are people that can help you deal with that. Here with the Delaware Council on Gambling Problems is Business and Systems Director Gerald Tiano. Thank you so much, sir. And Director of Prevention and Clinical Services, Dr. Suchin Karnik. Thank you so much for both of you for being here. With the advent of casino gambling, I know we had horse racing in Delaware before, but with the advent of casino gambling, I would imagine that creates more problems.
Yes.
And you're hoping that if someone has an addiction, they can see it and they will reach out to you.
Our mission is really to treat problem gamblers and those affected by the problem gambler, because that's another big problem, or the people around them, as well as prevention and public awareness that gambling problems are treatable.
I would imagine that's part of the problem, what he just said, because somebody that has a gambling problem may not know they have a gambling problem.
Yes, and the key difference between what we call a substance use disorder and a gambling disorder is that in gambling disorder, there's nothing ingested inside the system. For example, a cocaine addict is going to take cocaine. Heroin-dependent person is going to take heroin. Right. What is ingested when a person makes a bet of any kind? Nothing is ingested. So the brain is addicted to its own chemicals naturally in the case of problem gamblers, not recreational gamblers. There's natural pleasure, but then there's pathological levels of pleasure, or the type of pleasure that causes pathology. But
I guess the consistent in both of the addictions is the high.
Yes, absolutely. So the brain is addicted in both cases. One is with the substance, one is without the substance, and that's why gambling addiction is called a pure addiction or a process addiction, where it's addicted naturally to its own chemicals without the infusion of a substance.
Now, is your organization against gambling?
No, we are gambling neutral. We are neither for nor against. We are here for one purpose, and that is to help people that have a problem.
And this can be devastating, right?
It can be devastating. We've had people, in fact, I have a client that I'm seeing right now who has lost over $2 million playing slot machines. That's his pure addiction, $100 slot machines. You know, who is to blame? Well, you can't blame anybody except the addiction itself. You know, the casinos are not, or casinos or any other gaming venues are not forcing people to come in there. It's for recreational. They also have responsible gaming programs. They also don't want people who are in this kinds of trouble. So we work with the industry people also closely.
Do the casinos and the government support you?
Yes, yes.
Very much so.
The 96 legislation that authorized video lottery gaming has a statute in it that says the state will set aside 1% of the gambling money they get to take from gambling for the purpose of treating people with problems from gambling.
You would think that the casinos and all the other gambling venues that you talked about, you would think that they'd like addicts.
No, that is not actually the case, because the gambling in what's called the gaming industry, they promote responsible gaming. They want people there who are there for entertainment. They have signs in many places, like things like "Bet with your head not over it," "Know when to stop."
But aren't they forced to do that?
Well, I mean, you know, there is a sense of responsible gaming. There might be some legislation around that I'm not willing to check on that. But the fact is that nobody wants to see true pathological gamblers on the casino floor, or in any venue for that matter, because some of the highest rates of suicide are in the area of pathological gambling.
Oh, I didn't realize
yes,
that.
That is very
fascinating.
True.
Well, if someone's out there that can realize they have a problem, and I would think that's a step that's hard to do, or there's family members that realize someone in their family or a loved one or a friend has a problem, how do they get a hold of you?
They call us at 888-850-8888.
Give the number one more time.
888-850-8888. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you talk to a person. You never get a machine.
So you call.
If they call, we talk to them, we find out what is their problem, where are they in this whole spectrum, and then we talk to them about, we have materials for you, we can help you understand the problem. We'll give you the name of counselors so you can go see a counselor. And if they can't afford to pay for the counseling, it's part of the money we get from the state.
And people can beat it.
They can enter into a state of recovery. Pathological gambling, in its real sense, is a brain disorder just like any other addiction.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate being here.
Very nice.
Very nice to meet you.
Okay.
The Delaware Council of Gambling Problems. We'll put the number up as I'm saying this. The director, Gerald Tiano, and Director of Prevention and Clinical Services, Dr. Suchin Karnik. That wraps up the Delaware Way for this week. Stick around now for another thing.